What's good, everybody? Back once again, and time for a little bit of this NBA preview, cause now we're at the conference finals, and this time we're doing it for the West Side time of the whole bracket, and this time we got them Denver Nuggets versus them Los Angeles Lakers. So on one hand, I feel like we may have figured that this would be one of the teams, but Denver, just because you got the two time back to back, could have been a third MVP in Jokic, and so we all probably most figured that Denver probably would be here. Uh, I mean, other teams got star name that you probably had to, when like KD and Booker with Phoenix, or there was Golden State with Steph, which is on the other side of the bracket. But for the most part, Denver and Denver, I was like, Denver, and it's like the Lakers. And to be honest, I think the Lakers have had a tougher road to get here. One, nobody didn't really see them really coming. And then even when like you started seeing them there, you still sort of like but hey, they're here on the back of a LeBron, AD, and crew. They're here. Um, I was like, the Nuggets. I feel like had an easier trip getting here than the Lakers, but that does not mean they didn't earn it. Because it's like, for instance, like you face the Timberwolves. Nobody thought the Timberwolves had a chance at anything. So therefore, it is a little bit easier. But they also did pretty much dominate and punish them. And if you're the top seed, guess what you're supposed to do to all the other ones? Dominate and punish them. So, except for like a heroic Anthony Edwards game, which, every superstar sort of gets one. Other than that, they pretty much demolished them. Jokic was been like a beast the whole time, and Jamal Murray pretty much like was on like his level, and Porter was a good roundabout like three there. Then against Phoenix, we thought if everything played out perfectly for Phoenix, they could do something against the Nuggets. And for 2 games, that's how it was. But in the end, the better team, because it was the whole team won. Jokic still dominated and bully ball all his way through, putting up a 50 burger, and just kept on like scoring and just having like triple doubles and Jokic stuff. Jamal Murray didn't have a great series, but I was like he still hits timely bucket. He created his own shot, so he's a good complement player with Jokic. Porter also didn't have a good series here, but KCP, he had his spots. Bruce Brown had his spot. Aaron Gordon had his spot. So guess what? When you got a crew of just that many, guess what? The collective balanced out with Jokic being the beast. So they was able to get through this when So there wasn't, I guess, the rockiness of everything. Lakers, on the other hand, they fought. I feel like they fought harder competition, but they pretty much also sort of dominated a lot through the team. They played Memphis, and they was able to get that one. I believe in 6. It was like so long ago at this point. But you playing against a Ja who, even though he had the messed up hand, still came out here and ball. Triple J, I was like Jaren Jackson Jr. I was like he had a pretty good series. So and then their cast of characters and stuff like that. But the Lakers, I felt like it was sort of good that they went through that first because I felt like that gave them a good rhythm and knowing who to play and who to be. That when it came to Golden State, they was in more prime form, even though they had some inconsistencies. But they knew their personnel was a lot more intact, and they played with each other through the series already. That they figured out how to do this. Now to the matchup. I think that the Lakers are going to pull this one out. And to me, that's really basically my thinking of can the ensemble, whose ensemble wins? I feel like Jokic and AD probably will somewhat wash each other out because I feel like Jokic can kill Anthony Davis in the paint because he's just going to just be putting that shoulder into him. But Anthony Davis is a lot more mobile and a lot more agile that he can move more freely and also get Jokic, but his game is going to be just more finesse way. So, and then I feel like with them, it's whoever just gets the rebounds and giving their other team a second chance at points is really going to be how this is because they both can be inconsistent with the perimeter player, but you keep giving them chances, then something's going to eventually fall down. But I was like, even though LeBron can have an off night, doesn't mean that LeBron is having an off night. Like his shot might not be falling or whatever, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be any less aggressive. With him going to be aggressive means that he's going to put them in foul trouble, and that might be actually how you sort of stop them because who like Jokic is not a rim defender like that. So that means that when LeBron goes up, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna throw Gordon on LeBron. Um, which I was like, I mean, I think they would do that probably at crunch time, but I feel like Aaron Gordon probably gonna start out on AD, and they'll probably have Jokic on like Vanderbilt, something like that, depending on what they play. And KCP, a mix of KCP and Michael Porter Jr. probably just going to be on LeBron the whole time. Sometimes you're going to throw Bruce Brown in there. You get what I'm saying? And the old Jeff Green. They're going to be throwing a combination of people out there, but there's nobody that can stop him. He's either got more speed than them, or he's more like stronger than them, so he's gonna go through them or something like that. So I feel like what this come down to is your collection of Schroeder, Angela Russell, Reeves. You throw in Lonnie Walker there. So you got your four guards versus basically Jamal Murray. And I was like, I like the four guard more so than Murray because I was like, you could keep throwing so many people at Murray, and I was like, the thing is, they're gonna go at Murray, so that means that you're gonna have to tire Murray out because it's like cool because Murray's not like a defensive player like that. So and then KCP, while he could score and stuff like that, but he's not a scorer, and he could play defense, but he's not a defender in that type of way. So I feel like your collection of guard versus their collection of guard, because they don't really have any other guard that they're really coming off the bench with. So like Braun can sometimes come in or whatever like that, but he's in like sparse minutes. And then I feel like, but to me, I feel like it could be the key of what does Rui do in this, because I feel like this is sort of like where he can he should sort of be like their Gordon in some way. Like Vanderbilt's going to play, but I don't know. I really don't think that Vanderbilt is going to play a crazy amount unless like somebody like Murray or Porter is going off, because I just feel like he just doesn't fit in this scenario. I mean, he'll still play, of course, but I was like, unless you do like some crazy small ball or whatever, like when they take Jokic out, maybe then. Um, and I was like, you gonna have like, because this game, they're sort of really similar, where they both have like a good big. I was like, good big, great big, whatever you want to say. I'm trying to middle them together, and a bunch of wing perimeter players that are all very sort of similar, but it almost seems like the Lakers has the depth advantage, which is weird to say, but kind of I named the four guards or whatever, but I was like they still have like Rui, and like they have like uh Vanderbilt, like other than like go along with AD and LeBron compared to where it's just like the only person that really comes off the bench is really about something. Green plays and Bruce Brown plays, but I feel like they show they could run, so therefore they could run with the Nuggets. So all that stuff of like kind of like you already sort of played a point forward is a point center, but I was like they already did point forward with Draymond Green pushing the paint with shooters. So you've already got that type of matchup. You've already tried to do like the whole like playing big a little bit with Memphis. So if they wanted, so it's like when they have like Gordon and Jokic and all that other stuff, and that's really on their big lineup. They've done that too, so I feel like the Lakers are way more battle tested to see whatever the Nuggets are going to throw at them, way more than the other way around. And I'm like Jokic needs Murray to score because AD and LeBron. I was like, however you pair that mix, I was like, cool. So maybe their combination of either like one or two is able to get Jokic. And then it's like, okay, cool. Those I was like, so Jamal Murray's gonna have to score because between I was like Schroeder pressing the ball, D'Angelo Russell getting into his bag a little bit and able to get some offense going. Reed's have been pretty consistent, so you already can count on him. And Lonnie Walker has shown now, I think he got enough confidence now where you know that you're going to at least be able to you could probably get 10 from him. I was like, I'm just saying. So so I'm saying like how it happened in Phoenix. I don't think that can happen here. I was like they got too much depth and too many people that can score, and I also feel like there's Denver is also still sort of a finesse team, where the Lakers is very physical and they're gonna put the pressure on them and put them in foul trouble. And I think that's how they're going to do. I think they're going to try to attack Jokic. I know people talk about like the pick and roll and stuff like that, but I think obviously they're going to try to do that. They're going to do everything, but I think it's going to be a lot of we're just going to go straight to the basket and just see how many times Jokic can stop us and see how many times we can get them in foul trouble. Because if you get them in foul trouble and they're especially not having a good night shooting the ball, I was like, Denver has weaknesses. They haven't just been able to really match up against anybody. I think the Timberwolves did the best of find out their flaws. I think it just took so late that I'm like, they wasn't going to win, but it was too late for them to implement any of them. But I think the Lakers have this one because I was like, I feel like the big man can almost wash. Like I like because Jokic is going to score more than Davis and he has the assists and stuff, but Davis is able to play defense at such a high level, and if he can control the rebounds, I feel like that neutralizes Jokic a lot more. LeBron putting the pressure on them going downhill. I was like, Reed even goes to the basket, Lonnie Walker even go to the basket, Russell, they all go to the basket way more than anybody else that you could really think of on Denver. Denver relies on a lot of like shoot, Murray create, and Gordon, I'm like, sometimes he'll be aggressive, but sometimes he really just waits for the open lob or the put back or something like that in order to get points. But I was like, yeah, I think the Lakers might get this one. Uh, I can see this one going I think this one might go about 6 or 7. Uh, because I was like, I don't think Denver going to like get down in no hole or nothing like that. But no, it's gonna be an interesting series. I just think the Lakers have had their matchups and stuff have prepared them in a different way to go against Denver than the other way around. But Jokic has also been that good that he can carry them to pretty much through the whole thing, where all you need is a couple shots here and there in order to probably win the game. And look, Murray's always good for a like one and fuego game. And the thing is, if Jokic is playing how Jokic plays and Murray got one of them games going, do you have enough of your crew to match it? I was like, that's pretty much all you got to do. Because I feel like you got a handful of people that over here compared to like 3 people. Because I was like, Michael Porter or Aaron Gordon are going to have to come and play in this in order for there to be another thing other than Murray as well. But anyway, enough of me rambling. If you like any of my thoughts or analysis or whatever of these previews here for the preview here today, I appreciate it. Thanks. If not, hey, maybe next time. And hey, you can check out some other videos or whatever. But until then, peace. I'm out.